here is your AI briefing for June 18, 2026, with 12 stories. Story 1. NVIDIA built robots that train themselves using AI coding agents. NVIDIA's Empire pipeline lets AI coding agents, e.g. Codex, Claude Code, write robot training code, run tests on a fleet of real robots, and iteratively improve behavior with minimal human oversight. The system turns robot iteration into a software loop, with code generated, executed, and evaluated on physical hardware until performance improves. That reduces manual labeling and lets a small team scale training across many robot behaviors. NVIDIA is using robots as unpaid QA for its coding agents, which is either breakthrough autonomy or a very expensive way to let Claude Code trip over real hardware. Story 2. Google DeepMind maps 4 ways AI could outgrow humans, warning it may not come in one dramatic leap. DeepMind outlines 4 stepwise failure modes: distribution shift, long horizon planning, self-improvement dynamics, and coordination risks, arguing AI can surpass humans without a single sudden leap by 2026 scale systems. The report frames alignment failures as layered operational risks that emerge before any superintelligence threshold is crossed. It pushes labs and regulators to monitor deployment, not just model size, because each failure mode can compound the next. DeepMind's 4 failure modes are less sci-fi prophecy than a checklist of boring ways brittle systems will outpace human oversight before anyone gets a single dramatic villain model. Story 3. Dangerous AI models are coming no matter what. Researchers warn that by 2026, cyber-capable AI model releases will become routine, forcing defenders to adopt proactive safeguards rather than relying on uncertain bans as attackers automate exploit crafting. The warning centers on cyber tools that can lower the skill barrier for scanning, exploit development, and post-breach automation. Security teams are told to assume repeated model releases will accelerate attacker throughput faster than policy can block them. The real headline is that cyber-capable models are becoming commodity malware factories, and defenders get the bill while attackers get automation. Story 4. Microsoft's Copilot AI caught letting hackers steal your 2FA codes through a single click. Microsoft Copilot was demonstrated by researchers as enabling one-click exfiltration. Attackers prompted it to reveal 2FA codes directly, bypassing common user verification expectations and increasing takeover risk immediately. The demonstration showed a malicious prompt could make the assistant disclose one-time authentication codes without needing malware on the device. That turns a conversational AI feature into an account takeover vector for enterprises using Microsoft login flows. Copilot turning 2FA into copy-paste loot is a neat demo of how one friendly chatbot can collapse a whole trust model with a single prompt. Story 5. TSMC's latest chip packaging breakthrough promises lower costs and better performance. TSMC says its CoPoS chip packaging could cut costs and raise AI performance, with mass production targeted for 2028, aiming to reduce power, latency via new stacked integration. CoPoS shifts more of the package into panel-level integration, which TSMC says can improve density and thermal behavior for advanced AI accelerators. The timeline gives chip designers a long runway to rework server and accelerator roadmaps around the new format. TSMC's packaging breakthrough sounds like future magic, but 2028 mass production means customers still pay today's pain while waiting for cheaper, cooler stacks tomorrow. Story 6. Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google DeepMind CEOs call for US-led coalition to create standards around AI. Sam Altman, Dario Amodei, and Demis Hassabis urged G7 heads of state in a US-led coalition to set enforceable AI standards after meeting directly with government leaders on international regulation. The CEOs want a shared rulebook that can be enforced across major democracies instead of fragmented national policies. Their proposal reflects concern that companies will face overlapping compliance demands unless governments coordinate quickly. The CEOs want US-led standards, which reads like global safety theater with Washington holding the pen and competitors stuck complying. Story 7. Google releases free Android upgrade to millions, Samsung Galaxy next. Google's free Android 17 rollout for millions of Galaxy phones via One UI 9 brings Gemini intelligence, which has triggered new security scrutiny over on-device versus cloud processing and data exposure for Samsung users. The upgrade ties Gemini features directly into Samsung's system apps, making the phone more dependent on a mix of local inference and cloud services. That raises questions for enterprise administrators about where prompts, photos, and other personal data are processed. Free Android 17 is the bait, Gemini intelligence is the bill, and Samsung users get to wonder which of their data is local and which is training somebody's cloud. Story 8. Tesco moving 40,000 server workloads off VMware amid Broadcom's abusive conduct. Tesco is migrating 40,000 server workloads off VMware after UK court filings claimed Broadcom raised VMware pricing by 75%, prompting a faster vendor shift to cut costs and risk. The migration reflects a forced infrastructure reset, with Tesco aiming to replace VMware before renewal costs climb further. Broadcom's licensing tactics are now pushing major customers to diversify virtualization stacks and negotiate harder with vendors. Tesco's 175% VMware shock is Broadcom's pricing power turned into a migration budget, and every workload moved is a vote against vendor hostage-taking. Story 9. World leaders want American AI. They just don't want America to be able to turn it off. At the G7, Macron and Modi warned that the US could revoke access to American AI overnight, a concern intensified after the Anthropic blackout demonstrated hard cutoff risk. The leaders fear dependency on US AI services could become a geopolitical leverage point during sanctions, disputes, or policy shifts. That concern is driving interest in sovereign AI capacity and contractual guarantees for uninterrupted access. Macron and Modi are asking for American AI without American kill switches because nobody wants to build their digital infrastructure on an off button in Washington. Story 10. Sabre scales agentic AI deployment as Ultra Group expands globally under Linux. Sabre's Model Context Protocol (MCP) server is being deployed with Ultra Group. Now, Linux Travel, Linux Loyalty to power agentic AI across global travel and loyalty servicing, scaling real-world enterprise rollout. The deployment uses MCP to let AI agents call travel and loyalty systems through standardized tool interfaces instead of custom integrations. That makes it easier for Sabre to roll the same automation pattern across multiple markets and partner brands. Sabre's MCP rollout is enterprise AI with travel receipts. Less moonshot, more plumbing, which is exactly where the real money and the real integration pain live. Story 11. Introducing Adobe Brand Visibility, a unified solution for the AI search era. Adobe Brand Visibility unifies SEMrush AI visibility intelligence with Adobe Agentic Content Optimization to help brands act on nearly 300 million AI search prompts and improve engagement via business context-aware recommendations. The product combines visibility tracking with optimization guidance so brands can identify where AI systems mention or omit them across search contexts. Adobe is positioning it as an operating layer for marketers who need measurement, not just content generation. Adobe's pitch is basically SEO for bots, wrapped in enterprise jargon and fed by 300 million prompts so brands can chase the next algorithmic attention tax. Story 12. Apple Intelligence 2.0, what the new AI features actually mean. With Apple Intelligence 2.0, iPhone users get deeper on-device Siri upgrades plus quiet Gemini integration via app plumbing, shifting AI from prompts to native workflows across supported Apple apps and timing releases announced for the coming iOS cycle. Apple is folding Gemini into app-level workflows so users can trigger AI actions without treating them as separate chat sessions. The approach keeps more processing on device where possible while extending Siri's reach into third-party and first-party apps. Apple Intelligence 2.0 finally makes AI feel native by hiding Gemini under the floorboards, so Siri gets smarter while Apple keeps the interface and Google gets the brains. That is the briefing for today.